Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Indiana Overtime. Alex McCarthy, Seth Tao. We filmed one of these less than 24 hours ago after IU beat Kansas. And Indiana football had another chance to knock off a top-ranked opponent. As Penn State was here, they're 12 in the AP poll, 10 in the college football playoff standings. And Indiana had a lead late in the third quarter. They had a couple leads, but they had a 10-point lead late in the third quarter, and ended up losing 45-31 due to they couldn't really explain why things just went so poorly in the fourth quarter. But there's a little bit of, maybe a little bit of fatigue, some play calling issues that Kevin Wilson was talking about.
Indiana just almost completely abandoned the run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they had 7 carries for -3 yards in the fourth quarter, and really in this game, when Divine Redding was on a roll, the entire offense was on a roll. So I mean, to only run the ball 7 times and not even get forward progress on it, that kind of sums up how the fourth quarter went.
Yeah, and that'll kill you when you're trying to maintain a lead and kind of keep your offense, like you said, keep your offense in rhythm. And so Indiana obviously likes to start with the run and build off that. They just weren't able to. Divine Redding did have 100 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. It's only the second time, right, that Indiana's lost this year when he goes over 100 yards. Ohio State was the other one? What was the other one?
It was over 70.
Oh, over 70.
Over 70.
Oh, wow, okay.
I don't know if he topped 100 against Ohio State or not.
Okay. Yeah, but that kind of breaks that streak. And really kind of along that same line, if you look at these numbers, pretty much everything is in favor of Indiana, from total yardage and first downs and third down conversion. And they were 3 for 4 in the red zone and scored 3 touchdowns on those possessions, which kind of goes under the radar. But the one glaring difference in the game was turnovers.
Yeah, if you ignore the turnover stats, Indiana should have won this game in a blowout.
Handle it.
I mean, and really the only thing that stopped Indiana from blowing this game wide open in the second quarter was those turnovers. They turned it over 3 times in the second quarter, 3 separate fumbles, and I mean that was the difference between it going into halftime 14-14 and probably maybe being up 21-14 or 28-14.
Yeah, Indiana lost 5 fumbles today, which coming into this game today, they'd lost 4 fumbles all year, and they lost 4 in the first half, and 2 from Mitchell Page, who was apparently distraught after the game, and there was one that was not really a fumble, but Isaac James touched the ball on a punt, which pretty much gave Penn State a touchdown because they recovered it at the 6-yard line and scored on the next play. The offense made it way too easy on Penn State's offense, kind of. I mean, they just weren't executing. They were turning the ball over like crazy. And you see that Indiana gave up 45 points, but the defense actually played really, really well today. You kept saying throughout the first half you thought it was maybe the best half that they played defensively all year.
Yeah, you saw the way Trace McSorley was under pressure basically the entire half and almost the entire game. It felt like he was scrambling the entire game. He was taking shot after shot after shot from the defensive line of linebackers on just free blitzes. Many guys were just untouched, coming in and taking shots on him. Not all of them were sacks. He was hit as he threw a lot in this game, more than I remember other quarterbacks Indiana's faced taking hits as they threw.
Right, Indiana was in the backfield pretty much all game defensively. I mean, they just went through Penn State's offensive line like they were statues, basically. I mean, they just went right by them.
And it's especially impressive just because of how hot Saquon Barkley was coming into the game. I mean, he finished with 60 yards on 33 carries.
Yeah, there was one point where he had 20 carries for 21 yards, or 20 carries for 20 yards. What was it? 20 carries for 19 yards. His long was 21 at the time, and 9 of those 20 carries had actually gone backwards.
Indiana had the 16 tackles for loss today, which is believed to be tied for the most in program history.
Yeah, it's the most Indiana's had in Big Ten games since 1998.
Any game.
Okay, yeah, any game since 1998. And yeah, it's just it was really impressive. Indiana's had 43 3, I think, tackles for loss in the past 3 games and 13 sacks, dating back to through their last couple wins and into today. They've just been. Kevin Wilson said over the last couple weeks he's really liked the effort of the defensive line and just how they're kind of coming together. They're fully healthy at this point, and they've been playing together for a few weeks at full strength. And you see guys just thriving. I mean, Ralph Green played really well. Niles Sykes played really well. Greg Gooch had probably his best game. It was just Robert McRae had a couple moments.
They had 2 interceptions also.
Yeah. Rashard Fan had a really nice pick, and then Tony Fields had an interception where McSorley just got
he got pumped,
decapitated basically, and ended up throwing it right to Tony Fields. So
McRae had that hit.
Yeah, and it was so another. I mean, it's weird to say that Indiana gives up 400 yards and 45 points, but it was a fairly impressive performance from Indiana, at least for the first 3 quarters. I mean, late in the game, Penn State started to really kind of hit on things. Barkley started to heat up a little bit. There's a flea flicker, a couple long passes that really killed Indiana, but.
And the unfortunate thing was so many of them were actually pretty well covered, and just not much that Indiana could have done.
Really good plays.
Tip your cap to McSorley. He made some plays down the stretch.
Yeah, he made some really nice plays. A couple really nice catches too from Penn State receivers. So it's another one of those games where Indiana, you can write the script before a lot of these games where Indiana stays with someone for a long, stays with a ranked opponent and looks really good at times, and then just kind of doesn't have that little last push in them to get the win. So Indiana's back to 500, 5-5 going into these last 2 games. Next week at Michigan is a bit of a challenge, I would say. But then after that, they come home. Indiana comes back here to play Purdue, and that's going to be one of the more winnable games of the season. And if IU wins that, they're bowl eligible for 2 years in a row, which is obviously a pretty big deal. So it's going to be an interesting last couple weeks for the regular season for IU. I'll be at both games. Seth will actually. This is your last game. This is your last guaranteed IU football game of the year.
Right.
Wow, that's a bummer, man. Man, they could have. We should have told them that before the game. They would have won for you. They would have gone into the huddle. Tom Allen would have been like, get this stop for Seth. Make sure his last game is a memorable one. I want to read his game story and remember this game. We'll tell him next time. But that's about all we've got from Memorial Stadium. We're going to go back and probably sleep off this long week, a long, busy week. So thanks for watching. Thanks for reading, all that kind of stuff. That's Seth Tao. This is Alex McCarthy, and we will talk to you, sometime soon.
Hopefully not within 24 hours.
Hopefully not.